Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm Mr. Moonstomper.
I'm Mrs. Moonstomper.
And it's good to have you on board. Thanks for stopping by. I do appreciate your company. So, you've seen the thumbnail, skinheads. Skinhead is probably the most hated subculture and the most misunderstood subculture ever. So, what do you know about skinheads and Mrs. Moonstomper?
It all originated in London, working class London, and it spread throughout the rest of the UK sort of later on over the years.
So I think it was 1969 if I remember right.
I think so, yes, when I say late 60s.
So the original skinheads, but they probably weren't known as skinheads at that point. So that's a coined phrase, isn't it? It's a coined term, and nobody knows exactly where that came from.
It's probably the style of the hair, the close cropped haircuts.
Exactly, or nobody knows exactly who said it or when it was said, but they just became skinhead because, you know, there could be suede heads, there could be boneheads, they were called all sorts. Boneheads, yeah, that's me. Anyway, so I kind of digress. Yeah, it was 1969 and it was basically based on ska music.
Yes.
Trojan music especially. So, what do you know about Trojan music then, Mrs. Moonstomper?
Well, Trojan, the lads, the skinhead lads from Britain, made friends with the Jamaican lads that came over with their families. They came over and some of them got really friendly and got involved with each other. And the Jamaican boys were playing that type of music from the Trojan label. And some of the white lads, they liked the sound of the music, and I thought, oh, we'll have some of that.
Went to the dances and that was it.
Yes,
so, yeah,
they did mix and it was all friendly, it was all good back then.
Yeah, absolutely amazing genre, but really misunderstood.
Yeah.
So when you push through that and you, in fact, depending on when you're born, is what I think you think a skinhead is. If that makes sense. So
people see them different or deem them different.
Absolutely. So some people see skinheads as like out and out neo-Nazis. So if you look at films such as Hollywood's really good at portraying people that way. So American History X.
Yes.
And that
Romper
was
Stomper as well.
Romper Stomper as well. So Romper Stomper, if you've not seen Romper Stomper, that's Russell Crowe, 1992, and it's a really, really good film.
It's Australian, really,
yeah, it's really, really well screwed together. And does that depict skinheads in its entirety? No, it doesn't. It just depicts, it depicts part of that subculture.
Yeah, the other side, because there's two sides, isn't there?
There is, but all dressing the same, who's who, and how do you split them up. So we're going to try and dissect that today, and this could take a little bit of dissecting, so just bear with us. What we're going to do now is run a quick VT, have a quick look at that, and we'll come straight back after that. So I hope you like that VT. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Glad you're hanging on there. No, so the original skinheads,
yes,
working class and proud. That was the sort of
the motto, weren't it? Sort of the motto.
Yes, it was. And what was drummed into them at school was, you know, working class was no good. You've got to be middle class. You've got to aspire to other things. And there were kids who just thought, you know what, I'm never ever going to get to middle class, but you know what, I'm proud of a working class
Yeah, so you should be.
Yeah, exactly. And that's when they started to don the donkey jackets,
the
braces, the short jeans,
yes.
and the boots as well, and
still cat boots, weren't they?
Yeah, or big boots, just big boots, and then the button down shirts, to Ben Sherman, or and then a bit later Fred Perry polos type affair.
Polo shirt, yes.
Yeah, exactly, and then the maybe the hat as well.
The woolly hat with the rim sort of rolled up around the forehead. Yeah,
and then the girls, the white girls, but there wasn't many white girls involved in that at that point in time.
Not many.
There were, but it didn't become as popular as it did
with the boys.
in the late 70s and the early 80s. Okay. But we'll move on to that very, very shortly. So those skinheads, Trojan record label, so Mrs. Moonstomper's proudly sporting her Trojan top today. And good on you, because absolutely amazing. So Trojan artists, what do you know about Trojan artists?
Yeah, so there's Desmond Decker and the Aces, Simeric, Tony Tribe, and a few others.
Pioneers, don't
forget
absolutely.
Harry J. All-Stars as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So Simeric. What did Simeric? I'd say I can't even say Simeric.
Simeric.
So what did Simeric do for skinheads?
Oh, they sang that song. They wrote and put that song together. The Skinhead Moonstomp.
Yeah, which is what our channel's actually named after. So Moonstomper Originals. It's just like I'm a massive fan of that stuff.
Oh God,
and that's kind of like a nod to that.
Yes, they used to blare that out in the clubs.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody be stomping now.
And it's all about the boots.
Yes.
It's the boots and the braces. The boots and the braces, that's it. That's exactly what it was about.
The biggest boot.
Yeah, exactly. And then fast forward into the 70s, we then get the other kind of skinheads. So the smart dress kind of went away a bit, and then the urban type military jackets.
Oh, so yes, the flight jackets, weren't they?
MA1 jackets. Original skinheads would have had a donkey jacket, or they'd have had a Harrington.
Yes.
A Barracuda Harrington. And a lot of that was based on, it was like Ivy League collegiate type clothing. From America, believe it or not.
That's it.
Of all the things, such as the loafers as well. So loafers were, and the suits and stuff like that, and they'd seen it was the Jamaican Rude Boys with actually all the suits and then the pork pie hats.
Just like their dads, used to dress like their dads. Some of the Jamaican lads did.
They did, but that was a really important thing in culture with Jamaican people.
Smart.
Yes, so they're told. I think there's an old Jamaican saying, and I was told this by an old Jamaican man once, and it was, if you can't be smart, then be smart. So basically, if you're not smart up there, then at least dress smart. But I'm not saying that all Jamaicans are that way inclined. It's a lot of them are really smart up there, but they dress smart as well. So they're doubly smart. So I just wanted to say that, but yeah. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, fast forward to because I digressed there slightly, the 70s. And skinhead kind of fell off the map a bit, and it sort of, we went through different waves of lots of music, the different genres, such as the glam rock, which is whatever you want to say about that, I don't know, and then the sort of like the prog rocky type stuff, and then the disco. And England was really, really, really in a bad situation. Again, what with your 3-day working week, everybody's on strike.
Strikes and riots.
Yeah, absolutely. And punk became a thing. Your Sex Pistols, your Buzzcocks, your Sham 69s, your Stranglers, the Clash, all those guys. And it was really, really disaffected youth. And the second wave of skinhead was born out of that, and two-tone as well.
Oh, yes.
So that's where they started wearing like the green MA1 jackets, or the MA1 jackets, and then the typical Fred Perry polo, the bleached jeans, and then like the cherry red docks.
So Busted Blood Vessel from Bad
Manners. So, right, fun fact for you, skinheads wore cherry red docks for what reason? Do you know the reason?
Oh yeah, because the policemen used to wear the black ones.
Bingo.
They didn't want to sort of associate themselves.
Yeah, so that's why they wore cherry reds. And then the laces, we've all seen yellow laces, red laces. And yes, some people will say, so from where I grew up, your colour laces were coded. So if you had red laces, Right, that was a no. That was like part of what they called national fronts.
Okay.
So a lot of people said there was national front laces, and the yellow laces were non-racist.
Okay.
Other places, your colour-coded laces represented the football team you supported.
Oh, right.
Yeah, because skinheads and football casuals go hand in hand, believe it or not. So a lot of those went from being a skinhead, so, you know, with the casual clothes, the button-down shirts, and then they went onto the terraces.
Okay.
And that just went on and on and on and on, and, you know, different groups came out of that, I suppose.
They had different names as well, didn't they? These football attendees.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, I mean, different gang names and football violence. Yeah, football violence was it was a big thing in England, but I'm saying nothing about that because I don't want to, you know, I don't want to go into it too much for obvious reasons, or not very obvious reasons. But hey ho, and yeah, and what actually also happened as well was because at that point in time, when that culture was coming back out, skinheads didn't have their own music. It was never their own music. So if you remember that ska music, that was Jamaican Rudies.
Yes.
That was, you know, that was Jamaican music. So it wasn't really skinhead music.
No.
It's just that skinheads associated that
That's
music,
it, yes.
and that music kind of fell off the map a bit, and they didn't have their own. So other forms of music sprouted from that. So there's
punk, weren't they?
punk, yes, the late punk, when punk stopped being a thing
Yes.
in the late 70s, which it did. It then went to Oi music. So if you've not heard Oi music, I don't know where you've been. It's a bit underground, but you've got bands like Cock Sparrow, and they, you know, then like the more recent ones like Evil Conduct.
Okay.
And those are they're very punk orientated guitars, and there's nothing remotely scarry about them at all. But if you flick back, when you look at you mentioned Bad Manners earlier.
Yes.
Bad Manners is skinhead reggae personified, and a lot of their tracks are all they're cover tracks, aren't they?
Yes.
Absolutely. My Boy Lollipop, actually My Girl
My
Lollipop.
Girl Lollipop, you changed words.
Yeah,
Changes.
Millie in the was it 19?
Millie Smalls, yes.
Millie Smalls in 19, whenever it was.
In the 60s, I can't
In the 60s,
really
yeah.
remember.
So there you go. There's the thing for you.
And the Can as well.
Yeah, there you go. And the other thing with those skinheads, at that point in the late 70s and early 80s, right, the national fronts were on the rise. So if you don't know who the national fronts are, go and Google that. That was an English pseudo-political party, and it was very extremely right-wing, and basically they wanted it was like an all-white Britain.
Yes.
So with that, what they did was they press ganged or recruited hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people.
Yeah, there's so many members.
Yeah, from very, very poor areas,
yes.
disaffected areas, and some of those were skinheads, because at that point in time, people just thought a skinhead was an old lady mugging, glue sniffing, absolute yobbo.
Yes.
Yeah, and guys, that wasn't the case. So you know, you got those who went into two-tone, and you know, it's always been, and that's why it's a hated subculture, which is kind of, you know, it's I understand, but at the same time, if you're a skinhead and then you're walking down the road and you see people crossing down the road, you just think, oh, here we go again. Here we go again.
Some people just judge though, and they look at you and go, skinhead, I'm going to cross the road.
Yeah, I get that.
You're not, so you're really not.
I get that all the time. I think we went into, where did we go the other week?
KFC.
We went to KFC in our local town centre. We both stood
together.
Yeah, we went together, both stood at the counter together. And the lady looked at me, she served me, then she went to serve her, and I said, no, we're together. And she just looks absolutely, shocked.
Yeah,
but, you know,
yes.
there you go.
That's up to her.
It's whatever, isn't it? It's whatever. So going back to that National Front thing, because that was quite a big thing. It was a big deal where they recruited all those boys and girls, and I think it was at concerts such as Selector with Pauline Black. So if you don't know who Pauline Black is, lead singer of Selector, and she actually mentioned that, you know, in some of the concerts, those people would walk in, wouldn't they?
Yes, they pay to walk in and stand at the front and caused so much trouble.
Yeah, chanting
racist things.
Yeah, while listening to a two-tone band.
Yes.
Go figure, guys. You know, if you want to pay money to do that, that's that's your prerogative. But I just think that's the strangest thing I've ever heard.
That doesn't make sense.
And in fact, it was that bad. I mean, Jimmy Percy. So if you don't know who Jimmy Percy is, go Google it. But I'll tell you anyway. He was the lead singer of Sham 69, and he experienced that on a regular basis to the point where he literally walked away from music.
He didn't want to go back. There's no going back for him because he just didn't like what he saw.
Exactly, and he said, like, I don't know if it was his last gig or something, he literally had 40 skinheads, if you want to call them that, in the audience, and they kicked off in such a big way. It just like literally, he just had to...
Throwing chairs and breaking stuff and... Jumping up on the stage as well, didn't they? Some of them jumped up on the stage.
Exactly.
Some of the band members or the crew members.
Exactly.
Had to hold them back and they couldn't control them.
They did, and it is. It's crazy. It really is. But at the same time, what does a racist skinhead look like, and what does a non-racist skinhead look like? Well, you go figure.
I know.
Because I genuinely don't know. I genuinely
People
do
just
not
make
know.
their minds up though, don't they? They look at you and just make their mind up, and whether you are or you aren't, they just make their minds up, and that's that.
And it got to the point where they had to make so the non-racist skinheads, they made, what was it called?
Oh, that's that movement, Sharp.
Sharp. So what's Sharp? Tell the viewers at home what Sharp is.
Sharp. Skinheads Against Racial Prejudice. SHARP.
Yeah, over the Trojan.
The Trojan logo is SHARP in the Trojan logo.
So right over the top.
Which all around it.
Yeah.
SHARP.
Personally, I never felt the need to justify. As a skinhead, I never felt the need to justify myself, and I don't have to I don't have to justify myself, so I don't have to put that on there, and I don't owe anybody anything.
No.
And that's the true culture. The true culture is you stand up for your beliefs, and you stand up for what you believe is right, and you stand up for your friends as well. Definitely. And you don't take crap off other people, and that's part of the crap is the prejudicial crap that people can give you. Yeah, exactly. So, and then fast forward again. So skinheads are all over the world now. It's not
just in Britain.
No, it's not just a British thing. All over the United States of America,
Europe as well.
Europe, Asia as well.
Yes.
Japan's got a big skinhead movement and career in places
in Malaysia,
like that.
I've seen
Malaysia, yeah. Who knew that, guys? So if you're from one of those countries, in the comments box below, a big up from us.
Yes.
Poland as well,
yes.
All in Northern Europe. Skinheads are absolutely everywhere.
Australia.
Yeah, Australia as well.
It's the Romper Stomper films.
Yeah, exactly. And they're not all bad skinheads.
No.
They're not all bad. Some are bad. Some say they're skinheads, and it's that to me is... You're not really a skinhead. In fact, you're not a skinhead at all. You're just a racist prick. But there you go, each their own. But it exists, doesn't it?
Yeah,
and that's why people do not understand that culture. Because if I'm one and I don't understand that culture, I don't understand the mindset, because I understand the culture, not the mindset.
Yes.
How is anybody else, how's an outsider looking in supposed to understand that?
It can be a bit confusing.
It is, yes. So, yeah, it is. It's kind of strange, it really is. But there's another thing as well. Is the media to blame?
I think partially.
I think massively. So films like American History X. If you've not watched that film, go and watch that film. That is absolutely vile. It really is. It's a good film.
Yeah, it's a good film.
Same as Romper Stomper as well.
Yes.
But then if you go back to what have you got? Made in was it Made in Britain? Was it?
It's Made in Britain or Made in England or this? Oh, Made in England. Is that the one with? That
Made in England is
one with Tim Roth.
No, the one with Tim Roth is Made in Britain. I think. Either or, but the one with Tim Roth. If you look at that, he's one troubled dude. He really is. But that epitomises an early 80s skinhead to an absolute T. But then again, look at Gary Oldman in Meantime, because that's another one that epitomises a skinhead in early 80s Britain as well. Those two films absolutely, they nail it to a T. But we weren't all like that. No, absolutely nowhere near. But you know, other things as well. So was it made in England? The one.
This is England.
This is England. So if you're not watching This Is England, go and watch it. It's an absolutely
with Stephen Graham.
It's absolutely brilliant, and that shows them growing up in the 80s. It's a series, and it's a really good series. 80s, yeah, and it just shows it. But again, the way they're portrayed, and the way everybody believes they're portrayed, and it wasn't always like that. So the ones who were from 1969, guys, you know who you are. You're the OGs. Down in the comments below if you're an OG. You're going to be in your 70s now, or pushing your 70s, I dare say.
Early 70s.
Yeah, absolutely. But you're the OG. You did it for the music. You did it for the style, for the love of it. Working class and proud through and through. So there's another thing, the boots as well. They didn't always wear Dr. Martin boots, did they? You know, so when they started out, I mean, they wore
like steel-toed cat boots.
Yeah, big boots, just big hobnail boots, but always clean. You know, and then when Docs became a thing, so you cherry reds,
Dr. Martens.
Yeah, and there's a thing about Docs as well. So the soles of Dr. Martens, although they're invented by them, those soles are actually made by, I think they're made by Solivair, I think, in Northampton. And then Dr. Martens just like sewed the uppers on, but they don't really make Dr. Martens in England. Well, they do, but if you buy them, they're dead expensive. So the new Dr. Martens are all from, I think they're from Southeast Asia somewhere. I think.
Were they invented by an author
a German
orthopaedic doctor.
Yeah, they were. Yeah,
I think yes.
Which is, you know, like German jack boots, isn't it? Really, if you want to be like that. But there's the thing, you know, all those who are wearing the new Dr. Martin boots, and you're extreme right wing. Just think where your boots are actually made before you go bashing people, and your clothes as well. Just have a look at where those are made before you go bashing people. Right, if they're made in your country and they're made by your people, that's all well and good, but they won't. But
some skinheads misunderstand. Like they do that salute. I'm not going to say it. They do that salute what Germans do. And you're not even German.
That one, yeah. That one you mean? Yeah.
You're not even German. Do you know anything about Germans? But yet you're following their way of thinking.
I know about Germans. They make shit cars, to be honest with you, and really shit motorbikes. But you know, there you go.
But they say keep Britain, but yet you're doing things what German people do, and that doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. It never made sense.
That's so silly.
It never made sense to me, but I kind of... I know what the philosophy is behind that, and I know what they would like to have, but that's never going to happen, is it?
No.
You know, never going to happen. You know, they tried that once and they failed, didn't they? So
they need something better to do with their life.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, the better thing to do with your life is music. You know, so it is
music brings people together.
Yeah, of course it does, and that's what this channel is all about. It's all about the music, the genre, the fashion, the lifestyle,
and the feel as well.
The feel of it as well, yeah, exactly. And that feels,
unity.
Yeah, and that feel and that unity still, it's still relevant today.
I think it's going to be here long after we're gone.
Yeah, I think so as well, because the younger ones as well. So you now see younger skinheads.
Yes.
You know, younger. You know, they've got like a Crombie on, and they've got the
Harrington.
Yeah, and a button down shirt, and the docks and the braces, 4-inch braces.
Yes.
And they look absolutely amazing.
And they just keep it going from year to year to year.
Exactly.
It feels like it's never going to die.
Exactly. Talking of Harringtons, did you know the original Harrington? A Barracuda Harrington, made by Barracuda, I think it was.
All right.
They're £360 each.
Wow.
That's a lot of money. But
they start saving up.
If you look at the difference between that and a generic Harrington, you'll see the difference. to look at it.
Oh, is it the quality you mentioned earlier?
The quality is absolutely there. That thing's going to last you forever and ever and ever and ever. And ditto with your bomber jackets as well. So coming up in another one of our episodes, we've got the difference between. So we're going to look at clothing. We said we would fashion.
The fashion side of things.
So we're going to get I think we've got a Relco. We've got a Relco MA1 versus an Alpha Industries MA1. What's the difference?
And can you tell?
Yeah, can you tell? I've road tested those. I've road tested them to destruction, but we'll show you more on different kinds of bomber jackets and why you'd actually pay more money. Although sometimes it's not worth it, but that's to come.
Okay.
And then difference with Dr. Martens as well. So knocking around the studio somewhere, we've got an original pair of docks. Not in very good condition, but we've got an original pair of docks, like made in England ones, and then we've got the made in. I don't know where they're actually made now. Is it China, I think, or somewhere like that?
I forget now. This second, I forget.
I don't know, but there's a difference. There is a marked difference with the. You can tell it with the leather straight away.
All right.
The original docks, you could polish those, and they came up beautiful. The new docks, they seem to be coated with something, and it's just like I don't know.
Stay dull, do they? When you polish them, don't they come up shiny?
Well,
get a shine on them.
Not particularly.
All right.
You know, so I just look at those. They're docks, but they're docks, but not as we know them, Jim. You know, unfortunately, but they're still docks. So, but yeah, so we'll look at different docks, and we're going to look at some different clothing as well. So you'll be doing a bit of fashion as well, won't you?
Oh.
Yeah, probably. So don't get too excited, guys.
Watch me.
No, don't. I saw her get out the bath one day, honestly. I've never recovered from it. No, I'm joking. Right, so anything else on skinheads?
Skinheads will never die.
Yeah, exactly. So if you don't like skinheads, check it out and go and see what real skinheads are. So go back to the late 60s, have a look at the OG skinheads. Those are the boys and girls.
Yeah, just have a little look.
Yeah, exactly.
It's interesting. It
really is. Yeah. So what we got coming up next show?
Talking about mods.
We are the mods. We are the mods. We are the mods. So yeah, if you like mods, then tune into that one.
Yes.
That'll be absolutely brilliant.
Be there.
Yeah, we're going to be looking at all things mod, including the music, the fashion, the transportation.
Yes.
Because that takes on board
the scooters.
Scooters, old and new as well. So
yes.
We're going to compare and contrast different scooters. That will be quite good, and that will be coming up the next time.
Yes.
So guys, until the next time, as ever, peace out, Brussels sprout.
Peace out.